This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
To beautiful Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines, like we are here twice a month. Appreciate all of you out there. We're going to talk a little soccer tomorrow. Inter Miami, big game. It is time. They're in the 11th spot. Cincinnati's in the 7th spot, so they're only 3 points behind Cincinnati. Huge game. Inter taking on Cincy tomorrow, and of course, Michelle Kaufman covers Inter Miami on a daily basis for the Miami Herald. Follow her on Twitter at Kauf Sports. Michelle, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. Cannot complain. First of all, one of the things we love about Mickey Arison is that he and his team, they try to win. Stephen Ross trying to figure out the right combination, but it's not from a lack of trying, always trying to win. Viola and Sifu, they inherited the team and they've made their changes along the way. The team has gotten better. All they try to do is win. We're still waiting for the Marlins to show us commitment, but Inter Miami has shown commitment from day one, building a stadium in Fort Lauderdale for fun because they're basically going to abandon that thing and go to Miami, and that stadium won't be have the same kind of usage anymore. And they made their mistakes with their DPs, fine, but they don't stop trying to win. And, they go and make the move for Pozuelo, and now they make the move for Corentin Coco Jean, and they sign him to a 3-year deal. To me, it is impressive how through all this adversity, even some of the financial issues that they still have, the two of their DP positions are still neutral in a way because they can't do anything with them, hopefully until next year here. And yet somehow or another, Henderson and Moss are finding ways to make moves. I commend them, and I hope that soccer fans are really appreciating this.
Yeah, I think Chris Henderson, we've known from the beginning, Chris Henderson came in here with a stellar reputation. We knew him from when he was a player with Miami Fusion, but he went on to be one of the most respected executives in MLS with Seattle. He really helped build that program, that team up there. And, now he came here and with hands tied behind his back and handcuffed, was able to bring in some really good players. I wish honestly, my one thing, I really loved Lewis Morgan, and I'm sorry that they got rid of him. But, he was one of the ones that the other teams wanted. Basically he was one of the guys that was marketable, that was commanding money from other clubs. So, but yeah, Coco Jean, we talked to him yesterday for the first time. And, I put in my story, he scored against PSG at the end of April. He scored with Messi on the field. Messi had scored the first goal.
Saw that. Yeah.
And it was at the PSG, home field. And PSG was about to win. And all of a sudden, little Coco comes in and scores in the 88th minute, an 88th minute equalizer with Neymar on the field and Mbappe on the field and Messi on the field. So this is a guy who, he's 27 years old. I haven't seen him play yet, so I'm eager to see him play. But what I know about him is that he's 27, which is a really good age.
Yeah, you're not bringing an old fart here. You're bringing
right. He's 27, which is a prime age for soccer, and he has played on big fields against the world's best players. He's not going to be intimidated by anything, and and he's a very versatile player. He said he likes to play as a striker the most, but he's also happy to play on the left wing, on the right wing. He can also play as a 10. He can play as a 10, a 9, a 7, 11. So, he's a guy that is supposed to add speed and creativity and productivity to the offense. The truth is, yes, they want to win, and they've done a lot of good things, and Phil Neville is a great guy, and Chris Henderson is doing a great job. The team has really struggled to score. They have 22 goals in 21 games, which is lowest in the Eastern Conference and second lowest in the whole league, tied for second lowest in the league. So this team, despite all of its efforts and everything, they really have had trouble finding the back of the net. So one thing I can tell you is Leo Campana, who has missed the past several games, and Ari Lassiter, who also has missed the last several games. They both returned to practice this week.
Awesome.
And they are listed as 50-50, but I would not be surprised if one or both of those players do play. Maybe not the whole game, but I think they both will be back on the field probably. And then you've got Pozuelo and Coco making his debut. This is a game they really need to win. I mean, this is a team that is in their conference, that is ahead of them by exactly 3 points. So if they beat this team, they're tied with them. And this team is in 7th place right now, which is the final playoff spot. Inter Miami's in 11th. They really have to climb into that playoff zone. Otherwise, the season will really be a disappointment. They need to make the playoffs. There are 13 games left. Their next 2 games after this are on the road. So this is really a very critical home game for them.
Explain to folks why he doesn't take a DP spot.
He just doesn't. He came on a free transfer. Not a free transfer. They paid. I think it was about $1 million for him. But his salary is not DP salary. So
transfer fees don't go against the cap.
Right. So his salary is within the range that he is not listed as a DP player.
Okay. Cincinnati tomorrow. You just talked about it. It's an enormous game. I mean, they've got to now turn this thing up. And you start to look at this team. I think Neville's done a really good job overall. I see the team playing more as a team, but they've got to start getting the results and getting the offense. And, what are they doing to kind of get Pozuelo in the mix? Early on in the other game, he got a shot early on, but, hasn't been as active as you would want. But that's one guy you need to, start getting him more involved in there.
Yeah, you could see in that game he played. I mean, you could see his quality in that first game he played. You could see what a difference he could make. He is a difference maker. The team absolutely has a different spirit this year. They are very positive. I go to the training sessions when I can. And there's a lot of laughter, togetherness. The one thing Pozuelo said over and over and over in his first day of media was that he had not seen a locker room like this in a long time. And that for a team that's in 11th place, he said they felt, the locker room felt like a team that was a winning team, that the spirit was great. There was great unity, great togetherness. They have fun. They joke. They laugh. They're very energetic at practice. The practices seem to be very intense and energetic. The spirit is there. I don't see the clicks that there were last year, which was a big problem, honestly. There were clicks on the team. I don't see that this year. I think the team is much more unified. They've got some really good team leaders. DeAndre Yedlin, who was named to the All-Star game, by the way. He's the only guy from the team. He was a coach's pick. He really has made a big difference with the culture of the team. It's a lot of things when you're on the outside and you're just a fan, you don't see the behind the scenes and the clubhouse and the training and just how the players interact with each other, which tells a lot. DeAndre Yedlin has made a huge impact on this team. He's a real locker room guy that everybody respects. The older guys respect him. Gonzalo respects him because he has played in the big leagues in Europe. But then the young American kids respect him because he's on the U.S. national team and came up through MLS. So, he's been a great unifying factor on this team and pacifier. And, I love the spirit of this team. I really do. I love the spirit of the team. They need to start scoring goals again. And really, Campana was doing it. And ever since he got injured and Ari Lassiter got injured, the loss of those two has been a really, really big loss, my opinion.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And you're hoping with Pozuelo on the pitch, it would help out Campana, vice versa. And now with Gene, now you have more playmakers. So if you could get Campana back and they're all ready to go, I think the offense now will have more options. So that's pretty cool. Give us a little preview for tomorrow. What do they got to do to beat Cincinnati? What can you tell us about Cincinnati?
Right. Well, Cincinnati is probably the most improved, if not the most improved in the league, definitely the most improved in the East. They were a team that was getting clobbered last year. They got a new coach. They have some good offensive players. One of the things going, and they are just as desperate to win as Miami. They are on the last playoff spot. They don't want to lose that. They're in 7th place. They're viewing this as a winnable game. They're saying, hey, we're in 7th place. We have the final playoff spot. Miami is a winnable game. And they went ahead, I think 2-0 the last time they played against Miami. And then, Miami turned it around. But they are definitely a difficult opponent. One of the other big things tomorrow that we have to still see is which goalkeeper Phil Neville is going to pick. He wouldn't say yesterday. Drake Callender has done an amazing job this year in the absence of Nick Marsman.
Gotta go.
One thing that Nick Marsman brings is he is a great distributor of the ball. So Drake Callender catches the ball better and is good with his hands. Nick Marsman is very good with his feet and is very good in starting the offense from the back, delivering long passes.
Opinion? Who would you go with? To me, it's a no-brainer. I'm going with Callender. I think he's been fantastic.
He has been fantastic. The thing is, they are desperate to score. And I do believe that Nick Marsman is like having an 11th field player. He delivers some long passes directly to the foot of his teammate. He also directs from the back very, very well. He punches the ball out and parries the ball more than Drake. Drake catches the ball, which is a reassuring thing when you're a fan. The guy catches the ball, doesn't just punch it out when then someone can rebound and kick it in or whatever. I think with his hands, Drake is better and has done an amazing job. I would not be surprised if they go with Nick tomorrow, only because I really think they want offense. He is more of an offensive goalkeeper. And I know goalkeepers don't have to be offensive. Goalkeepers, their main job is keep the ball out of the net. I get that.
Yeah, but here's where I disagree with you on this one, Michelle. Their problem is in the final third of the field.
Right, for sure.
His pass isn't getting down to the final third of the field where you're setting up somebody. So really, in the end, they work the ball down. Whether Marsman cuts off the first third with a terrific pass or not, I don't think that's a big issue. Their issue is in the back end and the final third in finishing around that box. And that has nothing to do with Marsman. And Callender has been the better goalkeeper. And to me, and you said the thing about the hands, I love that about him. And I just think that laterally, he's the best guy. He's the guy. When I watch him, he's the guy that moves from one pole to the other a lot faster than Marsman. I think.
Yeah, he also has length. He has length and he has width, Yeah, no, Phil said yesterday that Drake, he feels Drake is one of the top 5 keepers in the league this year and that he has earned the right to be where he is, and that, and that Nick has to prove that he belongs back in the starting job. In saying all that, he also said Nick Marsman has made a very, very strong push this week and this and that. I don't know. He said it's going to be, when I pressed him on who's going to be the starter, he basically said, he laughed and he said, we will have a keeper in the net, that I can assure you. But he said it was going to be a very difficult decision. So I'm going to be curious to see where he goes with that. But this is going to be a tough game. This is not an easy game. This is not the Cincinnati of last year. This is an energized team with new people in charge, and they are in 7th place. They have a playoff spot at the moment, so they're ahead of Miami. It's going to be a tough game, but it's a game Miami really, they cannot afford to lose at home tomorrow, because then there's the next 2 games are on the road, and then there's only 12 games left, and the next thing you know, there's 10 games left, and the more games that go by, the hole is going to get deeper and deeper, and it's going to be too big for them to climb out.
I'm with you there. All right, follow her on Twitter at Kauf Sports. Catch her work there at the Miami Herald, and tomorrow, man, 8 o'clock, Inter Miami taking on Cincinnati at Drive Pink Stadium. Michelle, as always, thank you for the time. Exceptional insight, as always. We will catch up again down the line.
All right. Thanks for having me. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you. She is always awesome. Michelle Kaufman. There we go. Getting it done, as always. All right.